Hey friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you a new 12x12 scrapbook layout. It is mixed media and it is everything full. I'm starting with, once again, my Distress stain in salvaged patina. I love this color. Oh, I really love it. I did treat my paper with clear gesso first and I let it dry. And then I started my mixed media. I'm just using the packaging technique and kept it to the top third of my layout base and then a little bit towards the center and bottom. I'm also adding a little bit of splatter using the same mist. And I also decided that I wanted to map my photos, which are all 2 by 2 inches. There's 5 of them, to white cardstock. I'm going to trim those down so there is a slight border around all of them, and then they are going to be ready to be adhered to my layout. Once I have those cut out, I'm actually going to start building my layout. So I'm going to, actually first, before I do that, I'm just trimming down my photos, and then I'm going to assemble some pumpkins, which are going to be embellishing my layout a little bit later on. There's just a couple of them. There is 2 in total, and then the rest are going to be leaves. Everything was die cut with my Cricut, and actually this layout was designed in Cricut Design Space before I actually put it together, so I knew the direction that I was headed. If you are a Cricut lover and you enjoy creating with your Cricut, maybe consider following me in the Cricut community. I do post all of my designs to the Cricut community so that you can create them yourselves. They're free, but I do ask that you use them just for your personal crafting, and they are not for sale. So this one will be coming in the near future, hopefully. I'll leave the link to my account over on Cricut down in the description box below so you can find me if that is something that interests you. So now I'm ready to put my layout together. I'm starting with this little border that I cut with my Cricut. I used cardstock from Close to My Heart. So this was cut from toffee cardstock. And then the pumpkins are being layered over top of it on the left-hand side of this little shelf. I used a mixture of papers, especially the pattern papers. I dumpster dove and looked for scraps in my stash, and that is what I cut the pumpkins and the leaves from to embellish this page. If cardstock was used, it was all Close to My Heart. The pattern papers came from a few different collections. I think I used a little bit from, actually I couldn't say who. Don't even know. They're scraps and I can't remember where they came from. But they worked for this layout and the color scheme that I was going for. So my title is going to be October, and I have that pretty well done. I'm adhering it to the top of the border with foam squares just to lift them up so they are above the pumpkins. On the right hand side of the title, I'm going to adhere leaves instead of pumpkins. I really thought about adding a 3rd or 4th or 5th pumpkin to the right hand side, but in the end the leaves won out. So there are just a few leaves that are going to be adhered on this end, larger ones. There will be some smaller ones as well, and then there will be some small and really tiny ones adhered to the left hand side of the title, but that's coming later on. I do use my foam squares to adhere all of these to the layout as well. Once all these leaves are attached, I'm going to attach my photos, and I attach them in an offset pattern. So one is lower, one's a little bit higher, and so on down the line. They were adhered with a mixture of my ATG gun, so just like tape adhesive and also liquid adhesive. The ones with the liquid adhesive have foam squares behind them. And when I was putting them on the layout, I put them so that they were higher than the ones that were stuck directly to the layout. I didn't actually like that, so I moved those two down a little bit so they are lower than the ones that are stuck directly to the layout. I think that looks a little bit better. Oh, so there is a third pumpkin, my bad. So the third pumpkin goes right by the picture of the flower there. There's a couple other leaves. They are also going to be adhered with foam squares. And once that is done, I'm going to work on my journaling. For my journaling this time, I'm actually using a quote. And I couldn't help but think of the quote by Anne of Green Gables that she loves, that she lives in a world where there are Octobers. And I had that quote running through my mind both when I was designing this layout and I was putting it together. And I knew right from the beginning that was going to be my journaling. So rather than typing and or writing out my journaling, I decided to stamp my journaling this time. I used a stamp set from my stash. It's a Close to My Heart stamp set. And also, by the way, my most favorite font of all, it is Modern Typewriter. I stamped it on white cardstock in toffee ink, and then I actually inked the edges of those 3 strips of paper in toffee as well, just so that they didn't fade into the background. I adhered them to my layout base using foam squares once again, and then underneath all of that journaling, I stamped Anne of Green Gables in my teeny tiny type stamp set, which is also from Close to My Heart. I will link Close to My Heart in the description box down below. I am not affiliated with Close to My Heart anymore, but I do love their products, and 2 of my friends are still consultants. So if you live either here in Canada or down in the States, I have 2 different links that you can visit just depending on your location. Okay, so Anne of Green Gables is stamped now. There are a couple more leaves that I was going to add. They are below the title. I'm going to add the date, and that is going to be at the top of the page near the pumpkins on the left-hand side and above the title. And then because this layout felt really off-center, I decided to pull out my Fall Market sticker sheet from Echo Park. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to mat this layout to some nutmeg cardstock, which is also from Close to My Heart. So this white layout base, or mat, is 11 3/4 inches squared. I trimmed it down before I did my mixed media because I knew that was the side that I wanted it to be, pardon me. Oh, and I also forgot these Tim Holtz phrase stickers as well. So I added a few Tim Holtz phrase stickers to a few of the photos as well before I add the stickers from the Fall Market. So one goes on the very left-hand photo there in the top left corner. Another one is going to go in the bottom center of the middle photo. And then I think I add a third one to the 4th photo in the top as well. And that'll be it for the phrase stickers and the photos. And here are the stickers from Echo Park. I still had a few itty bitty tiny leaves that were left over on the sticker sheet, so I used those to kind of center the top portion of this layout a little bit better so it didn't feel so lopsided. And then because there were stickers on the right hand side, I figured I better add a sticker to the left hand side. So the last little itty bitty red leaf from the sticker sheet gets adhered to that left hand side. This layout's done. I had so much fun putting this layout together. I really, really love it. I love that I used a quote for my journaling. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like. If you would like to see more videos that are Cricut inspired and Cricut created, maybe consider giving me a subscribe. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me. I'll be back again soon with more creative inspiration. Bye, friends.